Hello, Lorenda Carr here for Daily Vibe Check. It is Monday, June 21st. Had a fantastic weekend at Camp Chesterfield. It's a spiritual college that is right here in Indiana, not too far. I take some classes through them, and that's where my mentor is. And it was just I'd never been there on the grounds, and so when they reopened, I thought I'd go check it out. And it was a fascinating experience. I really enjoyed it. Always good to be around like-minded people. Okay, so I hope everybody had a great weekend, great Father's Day. But let's see what Spirit wants us to know for today for our Grace and Highest Good as we kind of kick off the week, get a vibe on the week. First card is Nine of Wands. Interesting because this was actually a card, the final card for the weekend reading for Sunday. And when I saw it before, I saw, okay, standing your ground, but also being a beacon of light. So standing strong and being there. And I guess if we did it in past, present, future, this could be recent past. So let's see how this plays out. All right. In the present, Queen of Swords. And in the present, we got Queen of Swords. Well, Queen of Swords is very discerning. She thinks with her head. Not to mean that she's not compassionate, but she's very future oriented. She wants to carve her own path, use that sword to carve her own path, but also be very rational, cool thinking. Okay, so future, 10 of Cups reverse. Well, disrupted joy. We're going to have to find an action step here in a minute. So this is fascinating. So through my experiences over the weekend and some other things that played out, I think it's fascinating that you saw me shuffle and then I spread them out and this came up. This was the card that was future for yesterday's card, for yesterday's reading. So finding your light, finding your beacon, standing your ground, but then having to look to the future. And this disrupted joy is the future. What does that look like? So what does that mean? So maybe as you carve out your future, as you are pressing forward to figure out, okay, what means most to me? What do I need to keep in my life? What do I need to carve out as I move forward? What's my greatest and highest good? All the jargon, all the stuff. Maybe that means then when you are taking the emotion out of things and thinking with your head instead of just your heart and emotions, maybe you're finding that things aren't as rosy as you thought they were, or maybe they weren't. You've kind of had a realization. It's kind of like when you're a little kid and your mom is the beacon. Your mom knows everything and you're convinced they know everything. And as you're getting older and you're looking to your future and you're asking questions and you're seeing how things are going, then you start questioning, like, wait a minute. There's that moment where you realize my mom's not actually a superhero. Like, they don't actually have powers. My mom doesn't know everything. My mom has flaws. My mom is human. And sometimes that's what this feels like. It's that realization that, wow, maybe someone I had on a pedestal, maybe someone that I thought was my beacon, the person I was, looking to for the light, like, ooh, striving to be, maybe as I looked to the future, started forming my own opinions and taking all the information I'd been gathering, maybe I realized, wow, they don't know everything. So I guess the question is, What do you do with that? I'll never forget the day my daughter realized that I was a human being and not supermom. I didn't have all the answers. I didn't know everything. I was a kid when I had her. And, she had me way high on that pedestal, and I have let her down in her life because I'm not that perfect person. I'm not that perfect. I don't say all the right things all of the time. Nobody can. We are human. If we were flawless, you'd call me Jesus. And that's not my name. I'm not flawless. So it's that feeling of, do you have that mentor that you look up to, that person you idolize, that you think is so amazing and so flawless, and so that they're the beacon to you, and you follow their example. And then you come to the realization that, oh my gosh, they're human. Those are the moments where you decide, do you have grace, or do you turn your back and be disappointed? You'd be surprised how many people don't have grace and they just turn away, because that's our culture now. If we're being honest, that's just kind of who we, and I'm not going to be one of those old ladies like, I don't want to bet these kids these days. But honestly, for some reason, we have raised those kids to be canceling everything that they didn't agree with, even if it was 20 years ago. Oh, yeah, well, you did that 20 years ago, so you get no grace today. That's just kind of how things are going. And as our children are growing up and looking to their future, and we're kind of falling off our pedestals and we're disrupting their joy. So what can we do as far as an action? Okay, so what am I drawing for an action? I kid you not, this was yesterday also. I know, maybe it's Saturday. Page of Pentacles, reversed. It's a message we don't want to hear. And pages are children. They're also messengers. It's an unwelcome message of things that are, financial related, or materialistic things related. So maybe that inner child, maybe you looked up to someone, and they realized, oh my gosh, they're not who I think I am, or they are. They're getting that negative message. So how do we turn this into an action step? How do we move forward? Because this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel like a good card. And I'm not going to give you an action step that is negative, because that's pointless. So how do we make it not about finances? How do we have the message where it's not about material things? How do we... I'm going to sit on this for a second. Let me pull a Soul's Journey, or a Sacred Traveler card. Let's see, a little clarification on this Page of Pentacles, because I don't really feel like that's, maybe it's saying don't reach out to your kid, and don't try to convince people that you're something you're not. Let them sit in it. There it is. Let them sit in it. Because eventually, those same kids are going to repeat some cycles, because that's what they know. It's what they learned. It's what you taught them. And it's going to come right back to them. Some things are going to come back to them. And they're going to finally get a message that, oh, shit. So while I judged someone on this, maybe I shouldn't be judging. And maybe instead, so we, as maybe the person that's been judged, and yes, I'm speaking about a personal situation, maybe I don't reach out. Maybe I don't make the effort to clear my name. Maybe I don't say, but you really should see my point of view. No, because that person's going to go through their own life experience and realize, oh, she did do the best she could. And sometimes it takes years. Can't be stressing over it. Stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure. So I think it's funny that we brought up the superhero, and all I envisioned was like a cape. So I think it's funny that this is a cape. We are stronger than what we give ourselves credit for. And we are stronger than I think what enlightened people give us credit for. And I think it's really important that we realize how much power we do hold. And I think it's wise to use that power to continue to be a beacon, to continue being a positive person, to continue pursuing what you know is right in your life. Don't get hung up on a message. Don't get hung up on this garbage that maybe you know is not true about you. How do you step into your power and continue on your own journey? Even if that one person just doesn't have it in them to give you grace for being, not Jesus. The important thing is you recognize your faults and come up with a plan to fix them. How do you not make that mistake again? Step into your power. Find the strength to make things right and better for yourself. That's awful deep for a Monday. I'm just here to say that. Just want to say that. Awful deep for a Monday. But I find it interesting that those two cards, and look, they were all spread out. I just picked them randomly. Those two cards came out and they were yesterday's, or they were from the weekend. So some energies carrying over the weekend. Maybe something happened. Maybe something played out. I know for me, if I take the family part out of it, like what I was talking about, like, yes, that applies to, unfortunately, my power or my family, having gone to, I went to something on Saturday and I went in with a very discerning mind. I did not let my emotions carry me. And in the process, I kind of got a message that I didn't understand, didn't want to hear, or it just didn't resonate with me. It really didn't. And I feel the need to have a conversation because it disrupted some joy there. It disrupted some emotions that I had and some expectations that I had and some perceptions that I had. And do I want to kind of communicate those, or do I just sit on it for a while? I think it's important to find out that balance of power. What's important to me? How do I process this and move forward and still be able to learn from it? So there you go. Happy Monday. And it's summer solstice. It's officially summer now. And by the way, on Saturday, the day before solstice, I was standing in a solstice circle built by Native Americans from a gazillion years ago. How cool is that? And I could feel the energy, and it was just cool. And very enlightening and empowering. Yeah. So now I have to decide how I'm going to use that power. I mean, it didn't give me power, but the whole stepping into power. How am I going to go forward? All right. Have a fantastic day. I hope these find you well, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.